To my fellow viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for having trusted us by subscribing to our TV channel. We thank you because we feel most honored and most humbled to be talking to you on daily basis. We thank you very much. Thank you very much for allowing us to give you information and also to educate you and give you topical issues. We thank our subscribers for subscribing to this channel and request that wherever we post a video, kindly share with other people, share with your friends so that they can also join us and we move in tandem together. Remember, as you subscribe, also comment and also like. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you can be able to get the subsequent videos in the future. Our role is to educate and also to inform and to inspire. In today's episode, we have a very noble and important topic. This important topic involves all of us. It involves the children. It involves the parents. It involves the community. And that is the family. Then we need to ask ourselves one question. Why do marriages succeed while others fail? We are answering a specific question. We have seen that in most recent, there have been a lot of problems in homes. People are fighting, families are disintegrating, children are abusing their parents, parents are not staying together, some families have disintegrated completely. Marriage institution is in danger. And therefore, in this program today, we are going to see why some families or some marriages succeed. What should you do for your marriage to succeed? What happens so that others are not succeeding and they fail? First and foremost, remember marriage requires a firm foundation. And by firm foundation here I mean, how did you meet? Yeah, those people, a boy and a girl, they meet along the street. And they say they have fallen in love with each other. But that is not love. It is known as infatuation. Infatuation is whereby you see a girl or a boy and you start admiring her because of her figure, not because of her quality, not because of her values, not because of her talent, but you have seen a girl that she is round, she is figure eight, she has a good smile, she is walking well, and you claim that you have fallen in love with her. That is not love, but infatuation. If you are a girl, you see a man, and you say that because he is tall, he is black, masculine, and handsome, that is the man you want. You are wrong, and eventually you are going to reach a dead end. You need to look at the brain. Ask yourself, does this man have enough brain to bring up a family? This is because marriage is not for children, but marriage is for people who are grown up and mature in mind. It is not a play game. It is not a kangaroo game. It is a serious relationship that we are going to undertake a journey of 20, 30, 50, 60 years, 100 years, and the like. I will start by introducing myself before we go on. My name is David Maina Kamau. I am a Christian and I am married. I am a father of three grown-up teenagers. I have a wife. We have been with my wife for now 32 years. 32 years. So you can imagine that my children are big enough. They have given me grandchildren. Naitwa Guka. I live, I have stayed with them since their tender age. Until now, the lastborn is joining university this year. The firstborn is married and living somewhere with his wife. Therefore, when it comes to successes and the challenges of marriage, I believe I have all the experience to let you know the way to go. And this is the way to go. The foundation of your marriage must be important. Ask yourself, where did we meet? With my wife. Where did we meet? With the girl that I want to marry. Did you meet along the street? Did you meet in church? Did you meet in the choir? Did you meet in school where you are struggling to make sure that your life, future life, is well secured? Did you meet in a bar or in a disco? Where did you meet? Count a lot. If you met in a pub, then you know the consequences of the future. Do not be surprised when your man or your wife becomes a drunkard, and then you start telling him that I did not know the kind of a man or a woman I married. Maybe when you meet in a pub, she could have been a prostitute. You married a prostitute without knowing because of infatuation. And therefore, the foundation of marriage depends first and foremost on where you met. Secondly, try to find out the family background of your to-be spouse. Ask yourself, where does this man come from or this girl come from? Try to survey and spy the background. Visit the parents. Find out how they live at home. Do they have the family values? Do they value other members of the neighborhood? What is their background? Where did they come from? Can they recall their generation and generations in their family? Do they have family lineage that they respect one another? Where are they? Are they Christians or Muslims? Find out about the religion. Are they Buddhist or a Sikhist or a Taoist or Confucianist? Try to spy, 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 and spy. Not only just from their family members. Find out from even friends. The friends, we say that the quality of a man or woman depends on the company he or she keeps. Find out the kind of friends that girl relates with, even it is in university. Find out the person they work with. Find out at home the kind of friends that young man keeps. Find out the girl too. And if you do that kind of survey, then you are moving on the right track. Let us now go to the deeper issues, because after that, there are the traditional issue that follows and the church-related blah blah weddings and what have you. Those are things that you can plan later and plan them well with the advice of counselors. Now, you are in marriage. You have married this girl. You have done all the surveys. You have gotten the man you wanted. And here he is. The two of you are aliens. You don't know each other. Because remember, your husband is not your brother. Neither is your wife your sister. And therefore, you are met now or you are confronted by a stranger that you do not know. A stranger that was brought up in a different environment, in a different circumstances, in a different whatever that you can name it, you have just met, and is a person that you have sworn to live for ages and ages with him or her. Now, what makes this marriage last? What will determine your future engagement so that you remain together for 22 years, 32 years, 42 years, 50 years, you celebrate 80 years, and sometimes even 90 years if God blesses you with years together? It is the following. One, there must be mutual trust. Mutual trust is trusting each other. Give trust to each other. Avoid suspecting each other. That when the lady delays to come home, then she must be dubious and doing dubious things. That is mistrust. Don't mistrust your man. That wherever he comes late, he must have passed from a clandestine activity along the way. We have the mobile phones. You find that couples today, they are suspecting each other. When your woman or your wife takes her phone, maybe she doesn't want to disturb you, and she walks somewhere to talk privately with her workmate. Avoid suspicion. A man may do the same. Scrolling each other's phone is wrong. Let us have some decency, common decency. You do not have to scroll your husband's phone whenever he is in the bathroom, or he is somewhere. You pick his phone, or you pick your wife's phone to find out who is in WhatsApp and what they were chatting. That is nonsense. That is being cheap, being uncouth, primitive, and unprogressive. Avoid being suspicious by trusting one another. Because where there is no trust, then the marriage fails. Number two, you must have common goals. Try as much as possible to merge your aspirations. Have a common goal. Have a common direction. Sit down and set your objectives. The intention of any marriage is to have a home, is to have a family. Decide how many children you want to have. Maybe you want to have those who want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 10 and above. Decide on your goal. Bring your goal together. Compromise on the way forward. If one is still pursuing education, support each other so that one may be able to go through and finish the education she is undergoing. Like myself, I left university before my wife. I supported her. Imagine being left at home with a child who was 2 weeks old. I stayed with my baby for 1 year before my wife finished college to come and join me. I struggled fine, but nevertheless, I succeeded because where there is will, there is a way. I babysat my firstborn. I took care of him. I gave him milk, powdered milk. I gave him pumpkins and the like until when the mother finished college. I would pay for our upkeep, pay my rent, and go to see my wife in Moi University. And therefore, it is important that you discuss and have a common goal. Decide if you want to make a home, decide where to settle early, and start settling as soon as possible. When you have common goals and you start acquiring property, then that family stands. But if you just remain without being focused, without having any goal in mind, then your family is going to fail. It is going to collapse. Your marriage is not going anywhere. Remember, as I said, you meet with a stranger. She is not your sister, and he is not your brother. You have to compromise. Your DNAs are different. Your family backgrounds are different, and therefore there must be understanding, mutual understanding, for the family to remain together and for the marriage to be sustained. Communication is key in marriages. That is number 3. Make sure that you communicate. Communication does not mean that you just keep on singing or shouting. No. Wherever there is issue at home, sit down and discuss. If it is a budget, make the budget the two of you. Agree that this is the money we are going to spend for food. This is the money we are going to save for development. This is the money we are going to retain for our own entertainment. This is the money for school fees. This is the money for clothing and the like, and emergency. Keep on talking. Talking is very important. We normally say that communication is power. And the name and the word that you utter with your mouth and your tongue is very strong. Do not fail to communicate. In case there is any problem, confront it together. Discuss, sit down and talk. And once you talk with your wife, then it means that you trust each other and you're going to go far in your marriage. Ensure that you keep on talking. Keep on talking. Talking is very healthy. Talking, even when you are going somewhere, for instance, you'll be late, call your wife. Tell her, my dear, today I'll be late a little bit. I am held up in a meeting, and this meeting may take longer than I expected. If you are a wife, call your husband. Tell him, my dear, I'm caught up in a jam, but I'm trying. I'll make sure maybe by 9:30 or by 9, I'll be at home. For instance, if you are living in Nairobi to Mlolongo and you are not using the expressway, the jam sometimes takes 4 hours. What do? Kindly communicate with your spouse, let him or her know where you are. The other one is that you, in marriage, for marriage to grow, know that marriage evolves. Marriage is not static. It evolves, it has stages. And these are the following stages that you have to undergo and prepare and be strong. The first stage is 1 to 5 years. 1 to 5 years, this is where most marriages break. Because the girl starts seeing that the expectations she had for the man are not being met. The man starts equally to see that the expectation he had for the wife are not being met. They start quarreling. They start now knowing each other in true colors. If you had seen a smiling a man all through, then you see him in his wild capacity like a cheetah or a leopard. And then if you thought that the girl, small girl, simple girl that you married was as soft as wool, you start realizing that she has other tendencies that you had not seen. You start quarreling. You start now simple fights, small fights. You start shouting at each other. And then the love that you had when you are marrying starts diminishing. And if you're not careful, the marriage breaks. It breaks when you have small babies, and it is these babies who are going to suffer. That is the first stage. The second stage is 5 to 10 years. This is a stage where now you have known each other. Not exactly fully, because there are still some secrets that the wife and the man keeps hiding about his background. He does not want you to know his background. Neither does the lady want him to know her background. The children start growing. And therefore, now, when the love was being shared between a wife and a husband, there comes another third party, and that are the children. You find that now, the attention that the woman was giving to her husband, now it is now being directed to another area, the children. The man needs attention, he needs love, he needs some things here and there, but the children now have come in, and therefore, the kind of attachment and agape love that was there start diminishing. That is 5 to 10 years. The other stage is 10 to 20 years. Between this stage, everybody now has settled down. You have now this is my husband. This is our children. They are now growing up, and this is my wife. You start ignoring each other. You call your husband, he does not pick your phone. You call your wife, she blocks your phone. After all, what will you do? I'm there. I've been there 15 years, and now I'm here. And therefore, I have my rights and my rules. You start bragging. That is 10 to 20 years. The children are growing. They are growing. And therefore, you find that now each and everyone starts finding space for himself or of herself. Because now this lady cannot get married anywhere else, neither does the man have any interest with either other woman because she has seen her mother and seen her wife. He wants to settle and settle completely because the joy of any man is to have a settled family. But other things come in. Remember, in this marriage, you are not alone. There are brothers, there are in-laws, there is a community, and other influences that are beyond your compound. They are beyond your reach. They are affecting your marriage. And therefore, if you are not wise at this age to call upon God to be the foundation and a builder of your home and marriage, your marriage will collapse. It is a song that is sung, Jakira nyumba mwalani jakage gamomoka nidageria gwaka gage nyumbere kamomoka jakira nyumba mwalani jakage komamoka nidageria gwaka shaitani akamomora. This is now the time to call upon God to build your family. Because if you fail to build your family through the foundation of prayer, through the foundation of the church, through the foundation of the Heavenly Father, you are going to lose your family. Make sure that God is the foundation and a strong pillar to your family at this stage if you want to succeed. We normally say that life begins at 40. If your marriage is between 10 and 20, remember now you are now approaching 40 or above 40. And we don't mean that life begins at 40, you start enjoying. Problems starts at 40 years. That is when the children require school fees. That is when they eat one bread in the morning, full bread each, and they finish within one morning. That is the time now problem starts coming in. You start falling sick. You have other ailments that are coming in, creeping in, and they need attention. Your body becomes fragile, and therefore you need God to take you through this period. Now, let us continue by looking at the factors that makes marriages to fail and other to succeed. You need, therefore, to have a common purpose, common goal, and even activities. Not just goals, have even common activities. Take a walk together. Go to church together. If it's a gym, you can be able to go for a gym. Go and have a gym together. Cycling, swimming. If both of you can do that, then it brings the bondage together and you are able to remain together and your marriage will last long. Marriage is a journey. Don't mind about the side shows. It is a long journey. Remember, this is a couple, is a person that you took for marriage as a wife. You took him for marriage as a man. It is a journey. A journey you begin from day 1, year 1, year 5, year 10, year 20, up to 100. And therefore, along the way, there will be some hiccups. Don't give them attention. A lion does not look behind when some dogs bark. It keeps on moving forward and forward. There are some distractors. There will be some distractors, some quarrels. Remember, marriage is not a bed of roses. A rose flower has very beautiful flowers, but within it, it has thorns. And that is why we say marriage equally is not a bed of roses. And wherever there are issues, simple problems, let them not distract you. Keep on marching forward. Be like a strong soldier. Do not fight small battles. Do not fight about sugar. That the quality of sugar, I don't know, there was a lot of flour and it got finished. You people, you are doing this. You are not picking the cups, cleaning. Those are side issues. Wait for the major battles. Do not engage yourself in petty, small battles. Ignore them and move forward. Remember, there are major challenges along the way. Prepare for them so that when they come, you do not fall and collapse. Brace yourself for major things. Avoid conflict. Those small things, issues that people complain about, try to avoid them as possible. If it is finance, manage them well. If there is no finance, talk and discuss, and then work hard. And God is going to provide all the other things. Remember, your wife is not a punching box. She's a grown up. Equally, remember, your husband is not a punching box. We have wives who are battering their husbands when they come home. Do not fight. Fight belongs to stupid people. Reason. Grown ups sit down, they talk, and they discuss the way forward. Nobody should take a hand and start biting or beating the other person. Because once you start fight, that is where killings are coming from. You hear a certain wife has murdered her husband. She has knifed her. Recently, a woman fixed 4 knives in her husband's body, and the husband died. The same is happening to men. Men are fighting their women, and along the way, you kill each other. Remember, life belongs to God, and only God has the reason to take it away. Equally, remember, you are grown-ups. Grown-ups talk and they reason. If you differ, it is okay, agree to differ. And then disagree to differ and to agree. Keep on talking. Keep on talking. And once you keep on talking, there will be a solution to any problem. Appreciate each other. Compliment each other. If a husband does something good, the wife should appreciate him. And if the wife does the same, then the husband should remember to appreciate him or her. Love each other. Remember, you don't have any other company now. You are not with your mother. Neither you, the wife, you are not with your father or your brother. Make sure that your life is comfortable. Life here on earth is short, and therefore make it enjoyable. Enjoy life together. Life has no repeat. Maisha hairudiwi. We are on stage, and this stage one day we'll quit and go elsewhere, and we'll leave other prayers. And therefore, when you are a couple, love each other, enjoy moments together, move together, have children together, do all the things, go to the movies together, and God will bless you with a long, long marriage. Remember, the book of Genesis, it says, Genesis 2, verse 18, the Lord said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper. So when you are a man, know that your wife is a helper. It's not a slave, it's a helper. And when you have a helper, then you can work together and achieve more. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Don't say that I cannot cook. Who will teach your boys how to cook? And nowadays, wherever they are getting married, the girls are not good cooks. You find that the boy does not know how to cook. The girl does not know how to cook. And you are the father, you are there, you are saying that the wife is a helper, and therefore I cannot serve tea. Serve her tea, massage her. Let her do the same to you. Take care of each other. She is your best friend. If you are a woman, remember your husband is your best friend. Children came later, and therefore they are just intruder. They are just one purpose of marriage. The purposes of marriage are many, many beyond giving birth to children. And therefore, love each other, take care of each other, and remember that you are a helper to each other. If you read at Matthew 19:4-6, Matthew verse chapter 19, 4-6 says, a man shall leave his father and his mother and join his wife, and the two shall become one. The two shall become one. You are not one flesh. You are not one body. Can you injure your body? Can you harm your hand? So when you are beating your wife, or the wife is battering his husband, because the husband may be sick and weak, Ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I following the Bible? Remember that you are only one fresh. When you are a man and committing adultery, or the woman doing the same, now you are being one with another different person who is outside the family. And therefore, that curse gets you, and your family eventually will break if you don't pray and repent. Therefore, remember that you are now one, and you are one fresh, and therefore, it is important for you to have God as the foundation of your family. Romans 2:12-10 says, be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourself. Honor one another above yourself. If you do this, then your marriage will last forever. If you do contrary to what I have taught you today, then do not expect any other results. Expect the results that you have prepared. If you prepare the bed, then be ready to sleep on it. Don't say that, bra, 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 this is what happened, bra, bra, bra. No. Start from the word go. Be serious, knowing that this is a journey, and there's a journey of the two of you. Others are newcomers. The children are newcomers. The neighbors are newcomers. Your brothers and sisters, your in-laws, make sure that as a man, you stand firm, and as a woman, you stand firm to make your home. We always say that a nagging and stupid woman destroys her family, but a wise one builds her family. So all of you be wise and make sure that your marriage lasts forever. Now, there are things that are happening today, and I won't fail to mention them. These things are making marriages to fail. You get a girl or a boy, you don't know her, and you take her home. And you tell your parents that this is the wife and this is the man I'm going to marry. You have not done any background research to find out the kind of mchawi au muganga umeleta nyumbani. Inawezekana labda kwao ni waganga, they are witches, they are wizards, and you have brought a wizard at home as a wife. Do some background research. Call God to work with you, because marriage is a godly institution. We say it is the beginning of the church. It is the foundation of the church. And the church is the house of Christ. And therefore, any marriage is equally a house of Christ. Be mindful of whom you marry. Ask questions here and there. Call God. Call your parents. Ask them to pray for you so that you succeed in this journey. If you don't do that and your marriage collapses, kindly do not come to me asking me to help you on what to do, because I have told you. The other thing that is making people divorce, it is finance. You find that people have become so money-minded that are marrying a certain girl, or she's marrying a certain boy because he has seen at their home they are rich and their property. When the riches go, then love ceases. When the property is finished, then love ceases. I'm marrying this man because of the kind of a job he has. The job may not last forever. Kindly know that you should be binded by love, not wealth, not finance. Sometimes people are valuing money more than relationship. You kill a person because of money. A man notices his wife has a lot of wealth and he kills her so that he can be left with that wealth. A woman equally do the same. That I'm going to murder my man, my husband, so that I can inherit the trucks, the buses, the lorries, and the land he has, and the money in the bank. At the end of the day, that money may not help you. You will die and leave everything here. Remember, you came naked, and naked you will go. All other things will perish, but life will remain forever if you trust in God and follow the 10 Commandments. The other thing that is making people to divorce and to leave each other is stress and depression. There are a lot of stress nowadays, depressors. We find that the finances is one of them. There are a lot of problems. People are demanding this. The others are demanding that. There is no food. There is no school fees. There are no this. So many problems. Learn how to manage your depression and stress. Deal with one thing at a time and ask God to intervene. But never the rest. Know that there is a tomorrow. Fight on and don't give up. Do not give up to an extent of going into depression. Be strong, control yourself, and remain focused. Pray to God, fight on, and keep on working and working together. And once you do this, you are going to succeed. The other thing that is making homes to break is hopelessness, alcohol, and drugs. People are becoming hopeless, and once they become hopeless, they indulge into alcohol and drugs. They smoke bangi, marijuana, and they also go into other hard drugs. That is, we call it escapism. Do not escape from reality. Face your problems head on. Alcohol and drugs will not help you. Cocaine will not help you. It will just destroy you. For a moment, you'll relax, you'll feel okay, but after 1 or 2 days, you'll be back to the same problems. And therefore, do not be depressed to an extent of going to alcoholism, drugs, and other substances. Don't care attitude. We have don't care attitude. There are those people who are saying, after all, marriage does not work. We don't care. There are those who are saying, to hell with this girl. I didn't know she was this way. To hell with this blah, 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 blah. The don't care attitude. There are those people or students or, children who are not careful about their future. They are saying, if you ask them, how many years would you like to live? They say, since now I'm 20, I want to live only 40 years. Those are people who are careless. 40 years. Something that will just happen within a fraction of a very short period, you'll find yourself in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s. Others are saying that they don't want to live beyond 50. They have lost hope. What about if you live beyond 50 to 100 years and you messed up your life and then you suffer for another 50 years? Prepare, work hard, and don't have this hopelessness and bad attitude. We have also lacked values. Marriages are failing because of lack of values. We no longer value marriage institution anymore. People are seeing marriage as just a come, we stay, and you continue with things and life as usual. And then after that, you can divorce or separate. Marriage is a serious institution, especially when you take a vow in the church. You say, I am going to remain with you in the bad times and in good times. So God help me. That is the only vow you take and call and invoke the name of God. And therefore, if you do anything contrary to that vow, then you are cursed and there is a lot of danger in the future. Do not take a vow that you cannot be able to keep. Let us have our values. Let us value our institutions, the institution of marriage. Let us value our parents, the institution of parenthood. Let us value our children, the institution of children. Let us value our religious activities. Let us value our 10 commandments. Let us value them one by one. Respect one another. Love one another. Do not kill. Do not blah blah. Do not do this. Read them. Follow them. Please love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you do this, then your marriage will last and will continue being together. That is what we call moral decadence. We have decayed morals. Decayed moral in the sense that a man is marrying another man and a woman another woman. We call it lesbianism. I don't know what. Things that were not there, people are doing them. You cannot imagine. I cannot imagine myself a man coming to propose to me. I think I'll jump and heavens will break and I disappear on earth. Kindly let us be people who have upright morals because we have moral decadence. There are things that we are borrowing from the whites, from the West, and there are things that we are forgetting that we're supposed to keep to ourselves. You find that the social media today has a lot of pornography. It has a lot of influence on our children. And therefore, the society is now broken. It is now crying. And therefore, this is the right time to call God to intervene, to come and help us. Ladies and gentlemen, I have talked largely on the institution of marriage. Now you know why I am 32 and I'm going to be 60 years in my marriage very soon. I will celebrate my 60th, my 80th, 90th, even 100th. Take care. Do as I say. Kindly follow my instructions. I am an elder. I'm not a young boy. I have seen it all. I have passed through ups and downs, and here I am, still ready to fight on. May God bless you. Remember, this is Life Adventures TV. Kindly don't fail to subscribe and also like, comment at the end of this video. Do not fail to share this information with another person. Share with him or her. It may save a marriage and it may help young people to know where to start instead of starting climbing the tree from the top. Start from the ground. We have a saying in Kikuyu that when you see a man seated down, an elder particularly, seated down somewhere under a shade as I'm seated, he sees far than a young man who is on top of a tree. Muthuri aikaire giti onaga kuraihu gukira kihii ki muti iguru. God bless you. I'm hoping to meet with you in our next video. Hallelujah. Ciao, 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 ciao. Adios, amigos.